So we're here with Johnny and Chloe Newell from JNL Building, based in Christchurch. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and your business?
Yeah, I'm Johnny, and this is my wife Chloe. I have been in business for coming up almost 10 years actually. So yeah, we're just a small family-based business down here in Christchurch. We specialise in architectural new builds, complex hill sites, and renovations.
Wow, love it! Awesome. And can you give me a little bit of the split between the two of you? So when you are working in the business, Chloe, given that you're just on maternal duties, what do you each do? What role do you each play, and how much do you work in the business, Chloe?
So I did a couple of days a week in the office, and then did some of the socials outside of that as well. But so I did like the social media, the marketing. I did our website and keeping up to date with the website. Had a crack at Google AdWords. So tried that with the training and those kind of things. Bit of client liaison,
staff, HR, that sort of stuff.
Awesome.
Bit of some things with clients, depending on what they need, picking up things, like those sorts of things. So, yeah.
Awesome. And how have you found working together and being married?
Not too bad, eh? I mean, surprisingly, you'd think, living with each other and working with each other would be a bit of a struggle, but
if we don't,
it hasn't been too bad, is it?
Work in the office at the same time, it's even better.
Sure.
So I think it was realistically being, I kind of created my own role instead of what I think Johnny, when I first came into the business, brought me in to do more of the admin and office work, and I hate it. So I subbed it out straight away to someone else. So I kind of created my own role and did my own thing. So I honestly think that Johnny doesn't really know what I get up to a lot of the time, doing, like that side of it.
Probably doing one of the smartest things that you can subconsciously do there, because most of the office work admin side of the office stuff can be done for $25 an hour. But the real $500 and $1,000 an hour stuff comes to hiring, health and safety, systemizing, marketing, and sales process, which you kind of naturally gravitated towards.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the other big thing you did, was help hire new staff with trade me ads and stuff like that.
And interviewing.
Just on that, can you break down the split? Because we have a lot of members that are married couples, husband and wives, and I'm sure a lot of them start off in your scenario, and maybe also with Johnny's subconscious expectations that, hey, here's what you'll take over, here's what you'd be naturally good at. And I have a feeling that a lot of ladies, when they start in the business, almost identical to you, and they think, oh, this boring stuff sucks ass.
Yeah, it does. So it's zero. Oh.
So what did you get off your plate, and what is the new person? Is it solely a bookkeeper, or do you have a bookkeeper and someone else, or how does that office admin role work?
So currently we do just sub it all out to a bookkeeper, which has been fantastic. I mean, she's probably been on board for about 12 months now. Yeah, about 12 months, which has been amazing, because it is, quite very time consuming, but it's all stuff that's got to be done. So that's been really good. And then probably the next step would probably be looking at maybe getting someone in part-time, a few hours a week sort of thing in-house, and saving a bit there.
Yeah, 100%. Because how many hours were you working in the business in total per week, Chloe?
So I did, well, when I am at work, I did about 16.
A couple of days. Yeah,
a couple of days, 16, 20-ish probably. In the business, and that's probably within that role of without the bookkeeping and the numbers side of it, that I think marketing and all of those things need to be reevaluated, and you're continuously evolving with them. So I think that chews up that time.
100%.
Yeah, quite nicely.
Can you tell us a little bit about who do you now have in your team? What's the structure of your business?
Well, it's changed a lot, especially since we've started with yourself at TPV. Just in the last 12 months, Chloe came on board. Then we hired a foreman, hired an apprentice, got a bookkeeper on board.
Changed our accountant.
Changed our accountants. And then since then, I've also just a bit of a restructure. So we've got rid of 2 guys. So now we're just down to one foreman and one apprentice, with the view of looking at taking on more labour-only contracts next year, just to reduce the amount of staff, hopefully reduce some headaches and dial down on some labour overruns, really.
Awesome. I understand where you're at. So tell me a little bit, what was life like before coming on board the program?
I was probably like every other.
Why did you come on board?
I was like every other builder out there, probably just trying to take on too much and just trying to do everything himself. So it was just me, and I was just literally trying to do everything. I was working, God knows how many hours a week, evenings, weekends, all of that. And yeah, I was just sick of that. Didn't really have any idea about numbers either.
Yeah, no, like back costing.
Yeah, just all these little things.
Was a rough estimate at the end of the job.
Just, especially with the earthquake, the amount of work down here as well, just running around like a headless chicken, really, not knowing where I was going, just...
No systems at all.
Yeah, just running, really.
Running, not even on the treadmill, I call it on the hamster wheel. Yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. And what strategies have you implemented that have made the most difference? So if we go through, so what have you put in place on-site wise? What have you put in place structure-wise in the office, numbers? Yeah, feel free, or even just cherry pick which ones made the biggest difference to you.
The biggest thing was probably going with the likes of Buildertrend, so project management software. That's been massive, been able to keep everything in one sort of central hub for the business. So that's been great for back costing. It's good for the bookkeeper as well, because all our invoices and everything just gets plugged straight into Buildertrend. The boys' time clocks also go on Buildertrend as well. So that's probably been the biggest thing.
And knowing your numbers, right?
Just the project management side of it as well has been fantastic. So definitely
getting clear on your numbers.
Project management software, and getting clear on the numbers, knowing your numbers.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah.
And Chloe, of course. Well, Chloe's number one, right?
Yeah.
And on the numbers side, so what's been most helpful? Has it been the pricing side? Has it been displaying the numbers? Has it been controlling work in progress? Has it been increasing your margin? D all the above? Or
so many, right?
Quite a lot of them, but definitely getting the quoting right at the start, because if you don't get that right, it's all downhill from there, really. Especially a lot of the work we do is fixed price quotes. So if you don't get that right, it's you're up shit creek very quickly. So definitely.
And no paddle.
No paddle. So definitely jumping on board with all the pricing webinars and stuff like that. Utilising some of the other members' spreadsheets for pricing. Just lots of stuff that I just wasn't including that should have been.
Overheads.
Yeah,
knowing your overheads, right?
Majorly overheads, so
huge, right? Because a lot of people, when they're out there, they're not factoring in their overhead recovery margin, their quoting time, etc., let alone the list of stuff in P&G that you need to include.
Yeah, valuing your time, like that alone, I think is so important. And in the grind, I think I can see Johnny and a lot of builders forgetting they are an expert in their field. They do this day in, day out. They know it, and they give away so much for free. Builders, quoting and coming on board and doing all of this and meetings, and it all adds up. And it's just valuing that time and putting some boundaries in place with that.
It's crazy, right? When you think about it, that this is people's biggest investment of their life. In 60, 70, 80 years, the one thing that they'll spend the most on is either building a new home or renovating their existing home. And there's a segment of the market, not everyone drives, no disrespect, not everyone drives a Hyundai or a Toyota Yaris or a Daihatsu. There's plenty of people who drive Holdens, Fords, etc., let alone people who drive Porsches, Lambos, Ferrari, etc. And people are willing to pay for it. You don't always have to compete in the bottom tier, but you have to think smart in terms of positioning yourself differently, overcome their biggest concerns. So what has been most helpful? What specifically have you implemented to raise the profile of your business, get a better margin, and to make more profit? What's been most helpful in that area?
A really big thing for me, I used to just say yes to everything, take on any job and just go for it. Just working with those C and D clients, hoping they'll become slightly better, but they don't. So that's been a big thing that I've changed, is saying no. So pre-qualifying clients, and if they don't criteria, it's just not worth working with them, because we'd spend so much time with these people before we even get a signed contract, and if it's not worth it, move on to the next one.
100%.
And I think too, like I know you guys always say that marketing does the heavy lifting. So we had a website that we had done just before we got with you guys, and we'd invest a good amount of money on it, and it was an all right website, but not for builders. So we
it looked pretty.
Yeah.
About it.
Well, it didn't even really look pretty because but we redid the website again. We have really worked on our marketing and our socials and those sorts of things, and that kind of, it just keeps you in people's minds. Like I know that we went in a local magazine here in Christchurch, and someone who was going to use us for a renovation was reading it and was like, oh, that's right, I need to give them a call, and that prompted them to pick up the phone and 100%. Ring, and
awesome.
There we go.
So on the marketing side of things, and the strategies that we have at TPB for your online marketing, what do you think made the most difference? Was it like dialing in your unique selling proposition, the guarantee, video testimonials? Because you guys have got some awesome stuff on your website.
Video testimonials. We spent a lot of time, or Chloe spent a lot of time on that. They're really awesome, because you can write whatever you like on text, but when you actually see someone talking about you on video,
like
very powerful.
Exactly, case in point, right?
Yeah.
It's like real people getting real results using our business, and same for you guys.
Yeah, because like you said, this is people's most trusted, their biggest investment, and it's not about going out there and ripping clients off or doing anything. It's about providing them with the best experience we possibly can and getting them the best results and outcome, and letting people know that. Because like I saw on the internet yesterday, another builder had ripped someone off, run off with their money, and you hear so many of these cowboy stories. So it's just showing clients,
there are good guys,
and that we can nurture you through that process. So the guarantee was awesome. The whole redoing the website really makes you, like our the story, the magic story.
Yeah, how good is your magic story? Because people want to know, before they'll buy from you, 4 key things. Who are you? Who's your company? Can I trust you? And how specifically can you help me?
Yeah.
So versus the guy that shows up and goes, oh yeah, can be around next Thursday, probably start in January.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Do you do our kind of work? Like, do you have a guarantee? What about your trustworthiness?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was, definitely putting those all together. The videos, I would say, are the best, because you can chop them up and use them again and again and again for different marketing.
For all sorts of marketing.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I learned, I kind of taught myself to make little videos on there. So you can make little 20 to 30 second videos out of the testimonial videos that we do have, and put them on the social.
Yeah, put them on Facebook and just little
awesome.
Stuff.
Awesome. So what have been your changes or results from prior to now? And if we look at 4 key things, I'll just go through them one by one. So if we think first about the amount of hours that you were working pre-TBB to now, what are those changes over the last couple of years look like?
Well, massive, right? We've added 2 children, and he works less.
Yeah, and no weekends.
That possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think.
Time. I'd never do over 40 hours a week. Don't do evenings, don't do weekends. That's family time. So definitely pretty firm on that. Don't go to after hours appointments. Only between 8 and 5, pretty much.
Oh my God, are you saying that you tell the clients when you're available to go and see them?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Unless it's for a beer, idea. I think would be the.
I can go and beer after hours. Yeah.
It's relationship building, right?
Yeah. Networking.
Exactly. Okay. What about mindset? What was your mindset like beforehand? And confidence goes with it. So what was mindset and confidence like pre-TPB to now?
Mindset would have been all over the place, just doing whatever I could do just to stay afloat, really, because lots of work there, just all over the place with mindset. Compared to now,
I think you kind of caught in that wheel. Are you still there, Marty?
Yep. Yeah, it just froze for like 1 second.
So just instead of like, head down and just grinding all the time, looking up and being like, right, let's actually make some goals and get some strategies in place, and let's
having some direction.
What we want to do and what we want to achieve, and what success is for us and company and our business and our family, and not that you never steered us into one narrow-minded view of success, and how to look at that holistically in every area of our life as well. So I remember Johnny, one of the first convos with Owen, he wanted to get a hobby, so because he works so much, I
love it.
And so now mountain biking goes into the default diary, and you can do that, and making time for that. So definitely mindset's been huge.
How good is that, dude? I love it. I myself just started learning guitar 2 months ago. I'd never done it in 48 years. I decided, hey, I'm going to be 50 into next year. Like, why not pick up a hobby? I love it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's
having the time to do it as well,
Not where we have that much time with the 10-week-old, but, like it is something that you've added mountain biking into that time you would have been working. And
what's that done for your sanity, peace of mind, feeling in control? Because I know being a business owner, quite often you can feel overwhelmed or holy cow, there's so much to do. What's it done for that peace of mind, serenity side?
I guess it's getting a lot off my plate, because you're always worrying about everything, but being able to have people that you know and trust to be able to delegate some of these roles to definitely lessened the stress levels a lot. So definitely delegating as much out as you can.
Awesome. And how big were the jobs beforehand? And then I know you've landed some good sized jobs. What are some of the jobs that you've been landing and jobs you're starting to do now?
So before we did a lot of earthquake repairs, so they were still quite large jobs. So we still are doing some of them as well. So before TPB, I would have been taking on, any old job at low or no margins sometimes, lots of bathrooms, just lots of little bits and pieces here and there. Now I've sort of stopped doing pretty much all little jobs like that, just because they're just not worth your while, especially bathrooms. They're too...
Well, you can have like 20, 30 ridiculous amount of subtrades in them, right? Just as much as with a build.
Exactly, So it's just definitely got rid of the smaller jobs, because you still got to go out, quote the job, still got all the same project managing, all the invoicing and all stuff like that. Definitely the bigger jobs have been much better.
You wouldn't have one on the board at the moment, like even on the lead build under 200,000.
No, I think the smallest job will be a couple 100K. So
epic. And one of the jobs that I think after the website went live, you guys landed a big job, an 800K job.
So that one's just finishing up at the moment. So the homeowners are all moved in. But that one worked out. That was a big contract for us, fixed price contract as well, which was always pretty scary.
In our niche.
On the hill, architectural build. So that's worked out really well. And then you were on to another earthquake repair. Believe it or not, they're still being done down here in Christchurch 9 years on. So.
Well, it's funny that you should say that, because I'm just this very day signing off my agreement to sell my New Brighton, the Otara of Christchurch, investment property.
Yeah.
When I say investment, I mean that in how to lose money with a leaky building side of things.
Nice, nice. Yeah.
So I will hook you up with those guys, that dude's name and details after this as well.
Yeah, sweet.
Okay, so you mentioned being in a niche. Tell me a bit more about that, Chloe.
So when we came to you, again, doing any work, not realising how Johnny had built up a specialty over the years and where it was, until we realised that there's never been a house built on the flat by Jane Building yet. So it is all being done on the hill and complex sites. So that's, definitely where we target that niche, that on the complex sites on the hill.
Yeah.
The fun stuff, apparently.
So I guess with that is developing some lead gen magnets that position you as the expert, top 17 things you need to know if you own a hillside property, targeting specific architects for that kind of work, and then obviously getting case studies, testimonials, etc. on that side.
Yeah.
And that's always evolving for us, like everyone. It's trialing things, testing things, seeing what works, and having a go again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's happened money-wise and margin-wise from revenue a couple of years ago to now, and margin a couple of years ago to now?
So turnover's more than tripled, which is awesome. And our GP would have over doubled from the end of 2019 financial year. So tripling turnover and doubling GP. Yeah.
And what do you put that mainly down to? Obviously, there's actually, let me rephrase that question, because there's truckloads of things there, right? Knowing your niche, knowing your numbers, specializing in a niche, getting video testimonials, having a world-class website, having the mindset to price properly, blah, 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 blah. What do you think are the top 3 things that have helped shift that needle? Because obviously they all contribute, but what do you think have been the big game changers?
Yeah, marketing's obviously pretty big. I mean, a lot of our work is word of mouth, but even just having like an awesome website to show potential clients, not necessarily new clients, which are coming into us really cold, but showing potential clients what we can do, video testimonials and stuff like that. So marketing's definitely a big thing. And then also once you've landed these jobs, because they are fixed price contracts that we are doing, is knowing your numbers, knowing what to price for, and really
staying on top of it. And I think saying no, valuing Johnny's time, I'd say would probably be one of the biggest things. And because if we've said yes to these jobs and booked up our guys at low margins, all this shitty stuff that a lot of builders do to keep busy, where let's be productive, right? Like, instead of being busy is not, I don't think, something to be valued. It's,
So hit the nail on the head. Like, if you're not going to make money, like,
what's the point?
As in relax and go fishing and not make money. And only take the jobs on that are going to be profitable. Nothing worse than tying you guys up on a big job at a low margin and not being able to say yes.
You can't be a charity, it is a business, and these what we want for us and our family are, as opposed to the net guy, are really different, but it is trying to find that out, and it is our business and our livelihood and our staff, so it is making that a profitable business for us.
100%. All right. Now, how have you changed as leaders and people, do you think?
I've definitely still learning, but learned to let go a lot, because as I said, I used to do everything myself, and I'm probably like every other builder out there, it is hard to let go. But you just can't do everything yourself. There's just too much to do. You can't be in the office, you can't be project managing, you can't be on the tools, you can't be doing the invoicing, the quoting, and everything else that goes on in a business. So being able to delegate those roles out to other people definitely lessens the load. So that's been one massive thing for me.
And what's helped with that?
Definitely just employing the right people. We did quite a lengthy application process to get a new foreman on board as well. So getting good guys.
He's since left as well, and that. But we did it for our apprentice. Hiring an apprentice, we went through again the same application process and did all the same things. We've ended up with this amazing apprentice who's happens to be a qualified QS as well, so we'll take it.
An apprentice that's a QS.
Yeah.
How old is he?
28.
How good is that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, someone who's willing to change roles is really motivated, and that's what we wanted, right? You can teach someone the skills to be a good builder, but you can't train their attitude. So that's what we were, looking for in that process. And I know that I reached out to the TPB crew and on the Facebook page when I was doing these interviews about questions that they'd found really helpful, and that was so helpful for us and really valuable when we were interviewing staff, because we hadn't done a lot of it, so it was awesome.
The questions to ask and things like that.
Awesome. I love it.
I think we've changed heaps in the way we run the business. Call each other out on your bullshit a bit, It is.
You guys seem, from what I've seen a couple of years ago, you seem like you've grown tenfold as leaders in terms of headspace.
Yeah.
You're more experienced and more mature in terms of valuing your time, knowing your worth. It's a business, and really, I think you guys are very good at taking massive action quickly, like learn something and implement it.
Yeah,
I mean, there's always things that's always a work in progress as well.
It's business, right, though?
Yeah, implementing new things and finding things to systemize and make things easier and more efficient, really.
Yeah, and you have a win or you learn, right? And that's, I think, what we have really
say that a lot. Have a lot of learns.
A lot of learns.
Learn from it and move on.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like all learning is just earning with your L plate.
Yeah.
And you got to try things for the first time, figure out, the best way to get the best result, and then keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
I was like, can you hear the baby?
Just 2 more quick questions then. What's been your most valuable lesson so far?
One most valuable lesson.
Yep. Most valuable lesson.
Like I said, that we've had in our business.
Yep. Last couple of years.
I think for me anyway, if you do something once and it doesn't work out, that's not it. It's a learn, and just to keep learning all the time and growing yourself as well. Like I did a personal development course myself, because I think if every time you invest in yourself, that is tenfold for your business, and taking time out to develop yourself as a person and take aligned action, not just action just for the sake of doing something, aligned action with your goals. And
I mean, you might be valuing my time, really only doing the jobs at the right GP, otherwise there's no point doing it, really.
100%. And my last question, what would you say to someone who is stuck or is going okay but wants to fast track their results, or wants to get better results than what they're currently getting?
Yeah, definitely jump on board with guys like yourself at TPB. One of the biggest things that we've found so helpful is just there's so many other people on the same journey as us. People are behind you, people are in front of you. Learn from each other. There's people out there that have made mistakes that are willing to share as well, so learn off them. And also reaching out to people that are slightly in front of you and learn from them as well.
Yeah, you are who you surround yourself with, so do it. Like a lot of the time, if you don't hang out with, or you don't have people who run businesses or own businesses, they don't understand. So getting in that environment where you are with people who know what you're going through and who can guide and nurture you. When we signed up, we literally could not afford to sign up, but we couldn't afford not to either, and awesome. That was it. You have to invest some money and you have to take some risks, and it has definitely paid off tenfold for us to kind of, steer that ship and where we wanted it to go. But it is just about, sometimes it's just about jumping, just doing it.
You've hit the nail on the head. I love seeing you guys both rock. I love seeing the massive action that you take. You've given back to the community as well. You've made massive changes in your business. I love seeing the results you've been getting. And I wish you all the success in the future, and I look forward to talking soon.